What's up, guys? Today we are taking a look at the new Earthrise Voyager class Starscream, and I'm really digging this. This is the original old Seeker mold, just like upscaled and put with more articulation, and it is really cool. Let's see if I can get you in on this headstock here. There we go. It's pretty decent, right? Head's really nice. Got the ports on the side. The face looks good. It's very Starscream. The head is on a ball joint. We got the shoulders on the universals. We've got double elbows. So, what? Nope. Just the one. So we've got the elbow joint right there. We've got the upper swivel. And the wrist that comes up like that. That's like the only thing. I wish it would have pegged in, kept the fist better like that. But I mean, it's still good, so not a big deal. All right, there's no waist articulation because of transformation. We'll get into that here in a little bit. That's a little bit of a bummer, but oh well. The legs, this hip flap comes up like this. You can go forward to about there. You can go out to about here. And you can't go back very far because of this little butt flap. It doesn't move. It's stationary, but that's all right. So we've got the knee, pretty decent knee. Then we've got the ankle rocker about there, and no real back and forth, but you can, that part of the foot and this part of the foot moves, so, you know, you can kind of fudge it. Also, we've got upper thigh swivel. So, there you go. All right, we're going to take a look at the null rays real quick. Got his little null ray weapon right there. Those are pretty cool. Set those down because you'll need those off to do the transformation. Before we get into transformation, let's get into size comparisons. Now, I know some of you are probably wondering how he looks with your Siege Seekers. So we're going to bring in Red Wing real quick. And that's how they look together. They're roughly the same height. Maybe these ports are a little bigger. But they're roughly about the same height. And I think, you know, this looks good. If you have some Starscreams and you have some Siege Seekers, they're gonna look good together. I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, we get Skywarp and Thundercracker in this mold because I really want to see those two in this mold. And then there's rumors of the Coneheads, so I'm really hoping we get around to those. Another size comparison. Let's get Shockwave over here. So there's how he looks with your Siege Shockwave. So he's a decent height. He's really good. So, all right, now let's get into the transformation. So, first thing I want to talk about is I've seen some people kind of sketchy about how this clicks together and whatnot. To untab it, I like to just push the arms back a little bit, and it pops right off. And there you go. And it's a little harder to get it back when the arms are folded up. The arms fold in it's a little harder to do that. But just push the shoulders back and it'll untab pretty easy. Okay, so let's open that up first. Let's get this flipped around. There. Push that. Twist over here. And it'll tab in all lined up like so. And then, I mean, it folds up almost exactly like your deluxe Seekers. So if you're familiar with that, it's almost the exact same thing. All right, so let's get these arms ready to go. Fold up your wrist to about here, and what you're going to do is this part opens up like that. You want that, like that gray piece is part of the elbow, so it moves. So you're going to want to do this, have it there, and then push in. Like so, you got to get that fist out of the way. Push in like that to where the gray piece is poking out right there. Okay. And then push it down like this, and then push in like so. Well, like so. Okay. To where the fist is facing in the body. Okay, so let's try this again on the other side. Let's open up. Forearm, fist to there, push back, get that snapped around the elbow, fold it up like so, here, here, and tuck in that hand. Okay? And then you can fold it up. And if you're worried about snapping it together, you can just kind of, what I've been doing is just kind of rocking it on. Just like, I don't think I have everything lined up here. Give me a second. There we go. And it will just come down like that. Okay. Oh, and the wings fold out like this. I'm not really sure why. Like, that's a bit of a weird articulation thing. I'm not sure why it does that. So if somebody knows why it does that, y'all let me know. But that's just another thing you can, I guess it's just moving that out of the way for the arm, but whatever. Okay, so let's keep going. So you're here. You're gonna want to fold that up for the time being. Then you're gonna want to flip the feet down there, and that kind of gets this into place. So you'll move this like so, and then like this. And it's got a little slot there that tabs in. So on the other side, we're gonna tilt the ankle. We're gonna fold that part down. We're gonna fold this part down, this part around, and tab that in the side. And then, of course, flip that little piece down. So that will enable you to be able to do this. And these are hard to fold down when the foot is not folded down, so just do that first. The legs collapse inward, kind of like this, and like so. And then you can see the two tabs there in between the legs. They'll just tab together like that, and it'll tab on the back side. Might have to work that in just a little bit. We have the hip flaps folded out like that, so that when you fold these back in, you do that and it'll kind of hold that in place. So, all right, so now that's done. The wings fold down like so, and then around like this, and they do tend to pop off pretty easily, but that's actually okay because there's a lot of alignment stuff that you got to do on the side. Like, there's a tiny little tab. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that off. There's a tiny little tab right there that will peg into that slot and sort of keep your wings and everything in line. So it is easier to pop it off and align it that way. But if you don't want to do that, you know, you can do it without popping it off, but it is easier. There we go. Okay. All right. So now we have Starscream in his jet mode. He looks pretty cool. We're going to take your little null rays and stick them under the wings. And there you go. And there's the bottom. But that's pretty awesome, dude. I love that. That's pretty cool. So there's that. The cockpit doesn't open, but it's got the sculpted little, like the cockpit, I guess. The controls right there in the little seat, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's got 5mm port on the back. You can plug in, you know, your weaponizers and et cetera, et cetera. And he's got some ports right there and right there. And, you know, some back here. So you can, you know, weaponize him pretty well. But there you go. There is Earth Mode Starscream. So I'll see you guys next time.